Hello there. The former UK Chancellor, George Osborne, is still scaremongering about Brexit. When is he going to stop? Talking to Bloomberg, George Osborne not only said it was a mistake to leave the single market and customs union, he also said that we will struggle to find anything as good outside the EU. He never stops, does he? But he also said, Brexit did not require us to leave the single market, did not require us to leave the customs union, and as a country, through the government, have chosen to do that when it was not mandated by the referendum. Now, I dug out a YouTube video to which I've put a link of him stating exactly what the position was prior to the referendum. We'd be out of the single market. That's the reality, he said. Britain would be quitting the single market. As you will see on the video, he was quite animated in making the leaving of the single market the central threat to the UK voting to leave the EU. So now trying to say we don't have to leave the single market and customs union is at odds with his earlier strident claims and is just another Remainer trying it on as far as I'm concerned. Now, did you know that the British sugar refiners Tate and Lyle, a company that openly supported leave in the referendum campaign, pays up to 35% import duties on sugarcane before they can refine and sell their products into the UK market? And apart from a portion to offset customs costs, that money of course goes into the bottomless EU coffers, not the UK Treasury. On the face of it, Brexit gives us a chance to make sugar cheaper. But many worry that dropping tariffs on sugarcane imports could come at the expense of our own domestic sugar beet growers, especially as there is talk of sugarcane being dumped on the markets at ridiculously low prices. I'm sure though that we can reach an accord on this post-Brexit. But at the end of the day, if we do keep tariffs on sugarcane imports, all the money will be going into the UK Treasury, not the EU. And the tariff level will be set at a UK level to suit our market, not at the common external tariff rate that protects EU farmers. Moving on, there is now talk of winding up the Department for exiting the EU and putting David Davis out to grass almost immediately after Brexit Day on the 29th of March 2019, with the FT reporting that discussions have started over who will lead Britain's trade negotiations with the EU and how to carve up the Department for exiting the EU after Brexit. And it goes on to say that our civil service mandarins are looking to reshape their departments on the assumption that the DEXU operation will have ended. This to me is extremely dangerous. We have already seen how the civil service has acted with the leak of those error-laden Treasury reports, as well as meetings with foreign officials where they virtually promised to hand over the UK's defence structure to the EU. Because of the self-inflicted transition period, Brexit does not end on the 29th of March 2019. It ends on or even after the end of the transition period. I would not want to see all the decision-making regarding Brexit divided up and diluted over separate departments while there is still nearly 2 years to go. All manner of Remain shenanigans can be wreaked behind closed doors in that period. DEXU should continue to oversee the entire programme until it is fully completed with a responsible high-level minister in charge and, more importantly, fully accountable. It should also be tasked with proposing cast-iron legislation that would prevent the country ever again being handed over by the type of stealth and mendacity shown by our political classes over the past 4+ decades to what is, in effect, a foreign power. And lastly, let's talk about our post-Brexit blue passports that could well be made in France by a Franco-Dutch company. if the contract goes through, that is. I've written a piece about this on my website and left a link to it in the description box below, as well as at the top of this video. Currently, our burgundy passports are supplied by a British company called De La Rue, which sounds a bit ironic as the contract to make the new blue type may well be given to the French company Gemalto. Gemalto is understood to have undercut De La Rue by a substantial margin, and the chief executive of the UK company said, "I'd like to ask Theresa May or Amber Rudd to come to my factory and explain to our dedicated workforce why this is a sensible decision to offshore the manufacture of a British icon." But apart from it being iconic, there are more pressing issues such as 1. Basic security of what is in effect a UK security document. 2. Will there definitely be no import tariffs to pay on printed books and such like once we leave the EU? Most embarrassing if not. 3. Can we guarantee timely delivery across the new EU-UK border, as well as the Channel, and who has control over that transport contract? Lastly, this will no doubt require the UK to be fully signed up to the EU data protection laws permanently, and will that put the ECJ in charge of UK passports? Now, isn't that a great way for the Remain-minded establishment to keep us tied into the EU at every level? So, what are your thoughts on George Osborne, Sugar, winding up the Brexit department and producing our passports in France post-Brexit? Please leave a comment below. Thank you. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.